Have you ever faced a moment where everything felt out of your control? Where the only thing you could do was trust and let go? This is the story of a mother who had to make the hardest decision of her life, to save her baby. A story of fear, courage, and a quiet miracle that would one day change the world. Long ago, in the land of Egypt, there lived a group of people called the Israelites. At first, they had come to Egypt during a time of famine, and they were welcomed. But as the years passed, their numbers grew, and grew, and grew. Soon, a new king, Pharaoh, began to feel threatened. He looked at the Israelites and thought, "There are too many of them. What if they turn against us?" Fear took over his heart. So Pharaoh made a cruel decision. He forced the Israelites into slavery. They worked long, exhausting days, building cities and carrying heavy loads under harsh conditions. But even then, they kept growing stronger, and that made Pharaoh even more afraid. So he gave a terrible order. Every baby boy born to the Israelites must be thrown into the Nile River. It was a dark and painful time. Families lived in fear. Mothers hid their babies, hoping no one would hear their cries. Now, during this time, a woman gave birth to a baby boy. The moment she saw him, she knew he was special. He was beautiful, innocent, full of life. But she also knew something else. If anyone found him, he would be taken away. So she hid him. For 3 months, she kept him safe, quiet, and out of sight. But as he grew, hiding him became harder. Babies cry, they make noise, and danger was always close. She knew she couldn't hide him forever. So she made a plan, a risky one. She took a basket, woven carefully from reeds, and coated it so it could float on water. Then she gently placed her baby inside. Imagine that moment. A mother holding her child, knowing she has to let him go. Not because she wants to, but because it's the only way to save him. With a heavy heart, she carried the basket to the Nile River. She placed it among the tall reeds at the edge of the water. And then she let go. But she didn't leave completely. The baby's sister stood at a distance, watching closely, waiting, hoping, praying. The river flowed quietly. The basket drifted gently. And then something unexpected happened. Pharaoh's own daughter came down to the river to bathe. As she walked along the water's edge, she noticed something unusual among the reeds. A small basket. Curious, she asked her servant to bring it to her. When she opened it, she found the baby. He began to cry. And in that moment, something shifted in her heart. She knew right away this was a Hebrew child. She knew the law. But instead of turning away, she felt compassion. She looked at the baby, not as a threat, not as a problem, but as a life worth saving. Just then, the baby's sister stepped forward. Bravely, she spoke to Pharaoh's daughter. "Would you like me to find a woman to take care of the baby for you?" she asked. Pharaoh's daughter agreed. And guess who she brought? The baby's own mother. Without realizing it, Pharaoh's daughter had just returned the child to the very woman who had placed him in the river. But this time, the mother could care for him openly, and even be paid for it. It was a quiet miracle, a perfect moment where everything came together in a way no one could have planned. Pharaoh's daughter later adopted the child as her own son. She named him Moses, which means drawn out of the water. This baby, who was once hidden in fear, floating in a fragile basket, would one day grow up to lead his people out of slavery. But at this moment, he was simply a child, saved by courage, protected by love, and guided by something greater than anyone could see. This story isn't just about a baby in a basket. It's about trust in the middle of uncertainty, It's about courage when fear is everywhere. And it's about how even the smallest, quietest moments can lead to something much bigger. Sometimes, when life feels out of control, when you don't know what will happen next, you do what you can. You take a step of faith, and you trust that somehow things will come together, just like they did for Moses. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories that inspire and uplift.